Hello and welcome to the Great Outdoors. Today we pick up the Essex Way in Manningtree for what turns out to be a 17-mile walk from Manningtree to Harwich, which is pretty hefty for us. Manningtree is said to be the smallest town in England. We've visited several of the cafes and pubs in the past and enjoyed some lovely food, but today we just have a quick toilet stop and get started on our walk. Walking out of the town now, we move alongside the Stour estuary and into Mistley, where you have lovely views across to Grantham and then Stutton, with plenty of wildfowl. At this point we pass St Mary's and St Michael's Church on the right. As the path turns away from the estuary, you can see Mistley Towers, which are the only remains of a Georgian church. The two towers originally stood each end of a church which was designed by the architect Robert Adam in 1776, but the main part of the church was demolished in 1870. As you continue on the Essex Way, you pass old industrial maltings buildings and then take a right, which isn't obvious, to turn off the road into an industrial area where we pass some large trucks and you go through a gate at the back onto the off-road path. As you come to the end of this field, the Essex Way turns to the left, but we took a short diversion which was to the right, where you come to this lovely little bridge with a little stream passing under it and a small lake. You then walk into Mistley Woods, which is part private land and part open access, so you'll need to stick to the path. As we walk through Bradfield, you'll pass St Lawrence Church on your right. It's pretty inside, you may want to have a visit. As you exit Bradfield through the fields, go under a railway bridge and you get beautiful views of the estuary. Just stopped off for some lunch. We've opted for cheese toasties today. We've got a cup of coffee.
Thank you. Yeah, just finished the cup of coffee. Yeah, using the Lixada stove here with a new pot, fire maple. It's got the heat exchange at the bottom. Just to let you know, works brilliantly. We've owned a jet boil. And trust me, this boils just as quick, even with this little stove at the bottom. We've got over here, we've got the Soto Windmaster, and that works really well. I mean, we put the shield round it more so because obviously just want it to cook as quickly as possible. But I can imagine if you use this pot with that stove with a bigger head on it, because as you can see with this one, it's got quite a small head. This literally took probably 3 minutes to boil just over 500 ml of water. I have watched videos using this pot with that stove, and it does it in 1 minute 30 in good conditions. It's not that windy where we are at the moment, but 3 minutes on this little tiny stove, brilliant, well worth it. Stove's about a tenner, pot I got for 20 quid. I think they're normally 30, but well worth it. Litre pot as well, which we know full well you can fit 2 boiling bag meals in there at the same time, so well worth knowing. Anyway, we'll bring you back in a little while.
We follow alongside the estuary now right up to Rabness Nature Reserve, and along the way we pass some boats moored right up to the path. You will pass All Saints Church in Rabness, which is a Grade 2 listed building which unusually has a separate bell tower in a wooden structure alongside the church. You now pass through a small woodland called East Grove. You now walk through a small section of coppice woods and pass back across the railway. You now enter Ramsey and are greeted by a windmill with all 4 sails, although skeleton only. This Grade 2 listed post mill, one of the last 2 windmills to work in Essex, built in brick. It was originally built in Woodbridge, Suffolk, and moved in 1842. After passing through Little Oakley, we're losing the light, so the video is a bit few and far between, but we cross the marshes, meeting the opposite coastline and head towards Dovercourt. We've now reached Dovercourt and are heading to the finish in Harwich. In the daylight, you would pass Dovercourt lighthouses, Bourne Fort bunkers and observation posts in a military World War II complex, and finally Harwich Lighthouse.
Hello and welcome back. We're now on the train heading back to Manningtree. The trip took a lot longer than we thought it would, so we are sorry, but we won't be seeing the fort today in Manningtree, but we'll make our way back here sometime soon, possibly with the children, to maybe show you around the fort, because we know they enjoyed it when they went last. I'm really looking forward, despite the length of time it's taken us to do it. Really enjoyed it. Glad to have got another section of the Essex Way ticked off. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and any comments are really welcome. Anyway, see you all soon for the next adventure.